and welcome to this week's episode of the Flip Flop Family podcast. I'm Xylene. If this is the first time that you're joining me, thank you so much for doing that. We release 2 episodes every single week, and there is lots of members of the Flip Flop family, my husband Ben and 2 kids, Emiliana and Zach, who often feature on the podcast as well. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Our weekend has been a little bit more rested compared to last weekend as we embarked on tiling our children's bathroom. It's part of a bigger project that we took on board a few years ago to completely extend and renovate our home pretty much independently. And this bathroom is kind of the last real thing to do in our house. Ben was totally up for just paying a tiler. We haven't paid many trades as we have pretty much done it just between the 2 of us. But I think my problem, which my friend actually pointed out to me and I did not realize, she said that I'm challenge obsessed. And I think she put the nail on the head. I am completely challenge obsessed. No matter how busy I am, I just love a challenge and I cannot seem to learn from my mistakes at all. You know, most people do learn, but I don't. And I really wanted to have a go at tiling. I've done a bit here and there, but I wanted to do it and Ben didn't stop me. And then halfway through, I really wished that we hadn't done it because it's been really hard work. But thankfully, we've had a bit of a break this weekend as we needed to leave the tile adhesive to dry. So now we just need to do the grout, which we'll tackle this week. And then I'll be handing the baton back over to Ben as he's going to have to install all the fixtures. So I'm kind of glad that my role is coming to an end and I'm really looking forward to having a bath, you know. It's been a while. We haven't had a bath in this house since we ripped out the old bath, which was actually, even when we had the old bath, it was a really old school bathroom and I didn't really fancy having a bath in it. So I don't know the last time I had a bath. Are you a bath person? Are you a bath person or are you a shower person? Usually I am a shower person, but you know what it's like. You always want what you don't have, right? And because I don't have a bath and we've bought a really nice freestanding bathtub. So I'm looking forward to having a nice soak. And with the state of my back and my knees and my elbows right now, I definitely need a nice soak. So we actually went car shopping today as we have had our Prius. Yes, very humble Prius. It's a hybrid. I do love Toyota, I have to say. I like hybrids. They're nice and easy to drive. They're nice and shanty, I say, very chilled. But it is time. It's been a while and it's time for an upgrade. So we went to a massive car warehouse today and the kids loved trying out all the different cars. It's so funny how they have opinions about everything. It's like, you know, we're going to look for a nice car, and I sat and I quite like the Toyota CHR, which is kind of a bit like Range Rover-ish or Evoque-like, I'd say, a bit higher up. And they were ranting about how small the windows are at the back, you know? Like, I don't think I ever was allowed an opinion about what car my family bought when I was younger. But you know, it's like times change. So they've chosen what they want and we're going to see if we can get it. So that is coming up soon. Then we went for a bike ride this evening and sadly, Zach fell off his bike and it's been very traumatic because he fell pretty badly. He's busted his lip, he's busted inside his lip, he's grazed his mouth, his knee, his elbow. Bless him. He he's been through the wars, you know. I'm not looking forward to seeing him tomorrow, but I'm really hoping that he feels okay and that he's going to be all right for school, you know. But I hope you had a wonderful weekend. While I was doing the tiling this week, I did a few shifts, you know, and I got a bit bored of listening to music because I'd been listening to a lot of it and I fancied a book and I haven't had time to read a book in ages. So I thought, why not try an audiobook? So the book of the week this week is a book called Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. It's by Hector Garcia and Francis Morales. I don't know if you've read it or if you've come across it. It's a blue book with kind of cherry blossoms, a tree on the front, and I hadn't come across it. My sister actually has the book. She loves all this kind of stuff. But I listened to it and Ikigai is basically a Japanese concept that represents the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So it actually translates to a reason for being and is, if you look it up, it's often visualized as a Venn diagram. So you kind of overlap these 4 elements and it reveals your purpose or Ikigai. And the idea is that if you embrace this concept, it can lead to a fulfilling, balanced, and joyful life, as it encourages a focus on meaningful activities that align with personal values and skills while contributing to society. So I listened to most of this book. I haven't finished it, but I just found it so interesting, especially as it talked about flow and really finding something that you absolutely love. And when you love something, you're not aware of time. Like, time can go so fast because you're just enjoying yourself, a bit like when you're in love with someone, or the honeymoon phase when you first meet someone. But this is more about kind of occupation and something kind of to do with your life. And I found it really funny because although I'm complaining about the tiling and how it's been really hard on me because I've just not been used to doing it for a long time, DIY, but I absolutely love DIY, and I really do lose myself in it. There are a few things that I lose myself in. Definitely podcasting is another one of them. I do just love to talk, but I completely lose myself. So while I was listening to it, I just found it really interesting, and I thought it was such a great thing to talk about on today's podcast, because aren't we all trying to just find happiness and a reason for being? So the Japanese philosophical term Ikigai breaks down into Iki, which means alive, and Gai, which means worth. So when you put the phrase together, it basically refers to what gives your life value, meaning, or purpose. It evolved from the Japanese medicine's essential health and wellness concepts, and there are places around the world, and particularly there is an island in Japan called Okinawa, and it's another thing that is talked about in this book if you read it, where there is an unusual amount of people that live to 100, and they believe that Ikigai is one of those, is a reason behind why people are living for so long. If you are interested in this concept, and you don't have time to read it, you can listen to the audiobook, which is what I did. And also on Netflix, there is also a show which I would probably say is my thing to watch as well. And it's called Live 100 Secrets of the Blue Zones. So it basically, throughout this documentary, it discovers 5 unique communities where people live extraordinary, long and vibrant lives. And I just want to live for as long as possible if I can be healthy. So it's another great thing to watch if you are into this whole kind of concept. Ironically, I would say that this podcast was born out of the search for Ikigai, because for me, if you've listened to previous podcasts, you may know that I have a day job, which I do love, and I does pay the bills. Well, I don't know if I love it, but it pays the bills, and it definitely has a bit of a purpose. I feel like I am helping people, as I am an occupational therapist. So I know I'm helping people with physical disabilities, and that, of course, is really fulfilling. But my love, my passion is talking, hence the beginnings of this podcast, because I think it is important to have that outlet and to do something that you truly love. And if you're someone who would love to find your Ikigai, then this is some information on how you can try and find your reason for being. So there are 4 questions that you need to ask yourself. First of all, what do you love doing? What do you do that makes you feel like you're just in the flow? You're being present. It's like blissful, doesn't feel like work, and you're completely focused on the task, almost like you're in a bubble and everybody around you just is insignificant and you're not paying them any attention because you're just in your zone. What is it that you love? Can you think about what just makes you tick? The second question is, can you make money from it? Which is, of course, a really important question, because we all need to, unless you are a trust fund kid or just have loads of money, or your parents are rich. Most of us really need to make money to live, especially if you live in London, because it's so expensive to live. So can you make money from what you love? The third question is probably a hard one to answer, especially if you love doing it. Are you good at it? Are you really good at what you do? Like, you may really, really love writing books, for example, which is a very saturated market. But Are you good at it? Are your books interesting? Are people going to love them? And the thing is that you don't have to be like a natural at the thing that you love doing. It may be that you just need to put a lot of time and effort into it to become good at it. And that's totally fine. You know, I started being a radio presenter when I met Ben. So I was 20 or 21, and I love doing it. I've always loved talking, but it took me time, you know, to be able to really talk naturally. And there was a DJ, I worked on a station called Club Asia Radio, and when I first started on there, I became good friends with a DJ who was the breakfast DJ. Her name was Missy D, and she was just so real with me, you know, like she kind of took me in, and she was like, Xylene, she goes, when you talk to me, you talk how you talk, but when you're on air, you used to tell me you have like a Mickey Mouse voice. That's what she used to say. And at first I was like a bit offended, you know, because I thought I was like hot on the radio, you know, like as soon as I got on air, I thought I was like amazing. And then when she said that to me, and she had like loads of experience and I kind of was just starting out, I kind of, like I said, I was firstly offended. And then I kind of took on board her criticism, because I thought, okay, well, she's been doing this for a while. She must know what she's talking about. And then when I kind of listened more to myself, I realized that I had a radio voice that I would just put on. And I don't know if it sounded like Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse, let's just say. I don't know. But it definitely wasn't just me, like how I am now. Like I think how I talk now on this podcast and in radio in general is pretty much how I talk at home to my friends or to my family. And that really took time for me to be able to speak naturally, to be able to project my voice so that you can understand me and so that you enjoy listening to me. So although I knew that I loved to talk and I loved radio, I maybe wasn't, you know, perfect at it when I first started, but I've put the work in and I've grafted. So that's kind of the third question, really. Are you good at it? And are you going to put the time in to be good at it? The fourth question is, and the last question is this something the world needs? So this is kind of coming back to sort of when you're sort of hunter-gatherers, part of a community, one person's hunting, one person's cooking, like you're that sense of community, like helping and seeing the positive effects of what you do, which I think is probably harder in this day and age. I mean, I definitely feel like what I do as an occupational therapist is helping the world, you know, helping people who can't walk to be independent. That is, you know, definitely what the world needs. We want everybody to be as independent as possible. Coming back to this podcast, I definitely feel like when I do this podcast and then people send me messages and compliment what they're hearing, that they're enjoying it, or perhaps it's inspired them to do something that they wanted to do, that really spurs me on. And maybe that is number 4. You know, is this something the world needs? The world is saturated again with podcasts and with people thinking that they have something interesting to say. But I don't want to be reinventing the wheel. I just wanted to share what we talk about in our family, what goes on in our heads. And so far, I feel like it is relevant and people are enjoying it. And if you are enjoying it, please do comment and send us a message, because it really does spur us on and it makes us feel like we're giving you something that you want. So that's the 4th question, right? So what do you love doing? Can you make money off it? Are you good at it? And is this something the world needs? Now, you may have asked yourself those questions, and now it's kind of another layer. If you look, or if you Google Ikigai, you will see this Venn diagram, which will help you to visualize what I'm talking about if it's something that you're really into. So you then need to kind of take it to another level, this extra layer, to really find your Ikigai and figure out where you actually are. So in using this formula, you may be someone who has something that you love and are good at. And that would mean that you have passion. So you have those things, but you aren't getting paid for your talents. So you need to now focus on getting noticed so that people can see what you're doing, hear what you're doing, so that you can then also make money off it. You might be someone who has something that you love and you can see that the world needs it. And that means that you have a mission. But you might be someone who blogs about, for example, something important, but don't have the confidence to get people to join the cause. So then that's what you need to focus on. That's your mission, to get people on board, to have your beliefs, to encourage them to think in the way that you're thinking. You might be good at something and getting paid really well for it, or just well for it. And that's probably where most people fall into. That's when you have a profession, a 9 to 5. You're good at it, you're getting paid, but you don't necessarily love it. You know, you need to try and find something that you love that just gives you that fire in your belly. Lastly, there's vocation, and that is when you're being paid well and it's something that can help the world. Like, for example, a lecturer, you're helping people and you're being paid, but it's not making you tick. And if you are that person, you need to try and challenge yourself so that you can still find what you're doing exciting and keep your brain going so that you don't lose interest, and just keep that flame alive so that you love it. So by going through this formula to find Ikigai, it can try and help you to establish where you are in life and what you need to do to help you find your reason for being, your Ikigai. Here are a couple of quotes from the book. Our Ikigai is different from all of us, but one thing we have in common is that we are all searching for meaning. Essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. For me, Ikigai is the dream, to do something that I absolutely love, that I know has a purpose, that I can get paid well for, and that I am really good at. This week, I actually had a really good conversation with someone in an organization who's quite high up that I've been trying to get hold of for months. And she finally agreed to a call with me. And she kind of talked me through typical week if I got this job. And you know, when you hear something and you're just like, oh my God, that sounds amazing, like absolutely amazing. Each day sounded so exciting and something that I would absolutely love to do. And that is something that I'm totally aspiring to. And I just feel like if that happened for me, I will totally reach my Ikigai. And I really hope that you will all reach your reason for being, and that you're not sick of me saying the word Ikigai, because everyone in my house is. When I first told a friend about what I was going to talk about on today's podcast, she actually thought I was talking about a guy who had the ick, you know, an Ikigai instead of Ikigai. I'm going to stop saying it because it probably is going to irritate you now that I've said it. Did you know that in Japan, they don't actually have a word for retirement like we do in the UK? And even that alone just tells you that they really focus on doing things in life that they really do love, so that it just doesn't feel like work. I was actually having the same conversation with my friend and also Ben the other day, that if I was doing something as a job that ticked all those boxes, I wouldn't be bothered about waiting for retirement or counting down to retirement, you know, because if you're doing something that truly fulfills you, that makes you tick, that gets you into that flow, then and you're getting paid for it as well. Why would you want to stop, you know? Because every day would be a joy. I hope and pray that you are in that place in your life. And if you aren't, then perhaps it's time to look at how you can get there, because we all want to live a long and happy life, surely. So this week is actually countdown to my birthday week, as I like to call it, to try and, you know, have fun and celebrate another year on this planet, happy and healthy with family and friends. You know, you've just got to celebrate, haven't you? A milestone. Be proud that you're here and be thankful that you're here. And because it's my birthday week, I had to tell you my song of the week, which I would love to put on the Spotify and Apple Flip-Flop Family Song of the Week playlist. But unfortunately, I can't. You can, though, listen to it on YouTube. And the reason for that is because it was written and sung by the Flip-Flop Family, excluding me. So it's by Ben and Emiliana and Zach. It's called Jammin' with the Kids, and the song is called Golden Girl. And this song is one that they produced for me for my birthday, a milestone birthday a couple of years ago. And I have to say, it is a gift that just keeps giving, because I absolutely love singing along to it. And there's a video as well. Emiliana and Zach look a lot younger. And on my birthday, they presented me with literally sort of a platinum record with the CD cover of what it would look like if the song had been released. And I just love it, and I hope you're going to love it too. So check it out on YouTube, Jammin' with the Kids, and the song is called Golden Girl. And if you can't find it, then just check out the Flip-Flop Family YouTube channel and you'll definitely find it there. If you want to have a listen to it now, I'm going to play it for you at the end of this podcast because it was produced and sung by the Flip Flop family. We own all the rights, so I can actually play it on this podcast for you. So stick around and I will play it for you at the end. I also have a really good savvy tip for you today. If you are someone who likes buying things from ultra cheap websites, namely Shein and Temu, I know there is a lot of controversy about them, but setting that aside for now, Amazon have actually got a competitor. So if you go into Amazon and if you type in haul, which is HAUL, it's just for beta users. And I tried to find out how you can become a beta user. And it basically means someone who writes a lot of reviews and stuff. But I don't really write any reviews and I've been able to use it. So check it out. It's already been rolled out in the US if you're listening from there and you're like, Xylene, what is this savvy tip? We already knew about it. But if you are in the UK, it's very new. Go into your normal Amazon app, type in haul, and you will then get access to basically Amazon's version of ultra cheap stuff. You still need to hang around. It's not like Amazon where you'll get it next day. You will have to wait a few weeks, just like with those websites, but it is an Amazon site. So HAUL, it will literally redirect you to it. And I believe you get free shipping after you've spent £15. So check it out. That's my savvy tip for cheap goods. My dish of the week has got to be my chicken and vegetable pie. It's been a bit of a mad week with food because we've been so busy with the tiling and stuff. I've just not had a lot of time and haven't done a food shop and been literally trying to use up everything that I have in my fridge and my freezer. And I happen to have a roll of puff pastry and I had some chicken and I had a bit of veg and voila, we had a lovely chicken and vegetable pie. So if you fancy checking out the recipe, you can find that on the Flip Flop Family kitchen page on Instagram. Remember, the book of the week is Ikigai. If you fancy reading more about it, there's lots of different stuff in there, not just what I covered today, and I really found it interesting. And if you want to watch more about it, the thing to watch this week is Blue Zones on Netflix. I'm Xylene, and I sincerely hope that you have enjoyed today's podcast. I've really enjoyed talking to you as always. Right now, though, I'm going to play the song for you. It's Jammin' with the Kids. It's called Golden Girl. Enjoy, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Out to our golden girls. Listen. Yo, check it. She got a 24-carat smile. I must be dreaming. This girl got me beaming and gleaming and feeling meaning. There's nothing more appealing than a woman who believes in your vision, goals, ambitions you wanna achieve in. I met you in a nightclub, dancing hyped up. I took you on a date, but I wasn't looking to get wifed up. But the stars aligned and vibes were aligned up. You can't stop a shooting star when it shines bright up. You brighten up our days and your light just radiates. With God's grace, you'll be in my space till the end of days. I'm just amazed at your elements, elegance, it's so relevant. The mother to my kids that brings love and intelligence. You're a badass in your tool belt or your high heels. Only women that can build a house and make curry meals. You're like a fresh breeze on a hot day in a field of trees. My wife, the woman of my dreams. Forget Jimmy Choo, she's Primark and she's humble. She's all about the love and making homemade apple crumble. The kind of woman that will stand with you in allegiance. No weakness, completeness, spreading all her sweetness. You taught me about traveling in its beauty. Sitting on the beach with a movie and sushi. Got the baddest boogie when you're shaking your booty. Feel like I'm on cloud nine, I wifed up a cutie. Baby girl, 40 years, happy birthday, you're killing them. Love a Friday when it's pizza, Netflix and children. Thank God for your spirit and our dreams, we be seeing them. True definition of a one in a million.
You're my golden girl. You're my queen, you're my world. I thank God every day that I found you. You're my golden girl. You're my queen, you're my world. I thank God every day that I found you. Dear mama, I love you like the sunshine. And if a tear ever dropped from your eye, I'd be the one time. You're one of a kind, my mama is fine. You've got a heart full of gold and a beautiful mind. We wanna thank you for all the blessings you give us, for keeping us so nutritious and teaching us about ambitions. We love you, our golden girl. My mama turned 40. I bow to my queen, you're like the key to our story. Hey mama, I just wanna say that I appreciate all you do for us. You're always there to catch us when we fall. Your mother is your first friend, your best friend, and your forever friend. Thank you, and we love you forever. like a